an impromptu live, so I'll give you guys I'll give you folkers a minute, fellow freedom marchers a minute to get up in this piece so we can talk about it. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. On my way back to South Carolina for Georgia for the weekend, so I can be with my fam bam. We're gonna get into it in a minute, man. Excuse me. Over. So yeah, it's me again today. I know I just ended a live stream about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes ago. I don't know how long ago it was. But I wanted to put this out there, man. I want to put it out there how NBC is talking about a study that shows that actually getting infected with the super cold provides just as good or maybe even better protection than the super cold poop juice. Okay, and no surprise there, right? No surprise there, because this is something even I talked about last year, the year before, and this was definitely something that would get someone's channel struck and suspended. I mean, even now, I don't even know if I can talk about it openly. That's why I'm still using code words, but you know, you better safe than sorry, right? So, yeah. Infection from the super cold offers maybe better protection than the poop juice itself. And you know, I mean, it feels good to be a conspiracy theorist right now, because of course a lot of the things that conspiracy theorists such as myself were talking about, said that was going to happen, said that was happening, actually is coming to fruition, is coming to light. And, you know, it's just a shame that what's shameful about it is that much of the population, many of the people in the world can't exercise that level of discernment. And it doesn't even just, it doesn't take a genius, right? It just takes a little bit of common sense, a little bit of research, a little bit of fact checking to bear these things out. I just don't understand how people aren't hip to it. But, you know, information is rolling in every day. In fact, there was some information that came out of Florida that actually reported on certain adverse events from the poop juice, right? Florida, I believe, is the only state that actually, whose Surgeon General actually had the information compiled and put it out there, you know, essentially talking about, you know, the adverse events from that were reported in VAERS, and also that the information they got from hospitals. You know how they try to downplay VAERS, right? The vaccine adverse event reporting system, how they try to downplay it because they say all the information in there is just anybody can go in there and put information. But, you know, that information has to be followed up on. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, oh, well, just put some shit in there and then we'll just leave it. No. You know, that information is followed up on. That's why you have to put certain information in there. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Florida put out information on the poop juice adverse events. And again, no surprise that I wasn't surprised that many of the things that could happen from the poop juice is a lot of what I talked about a while ago. So, I mean, not just me, but doctors, research papers, things like that. People that actually took time to look into what this thing might be doing to people, other than just, so-called preventing transmission, preventing hospitalization, all this, that, and third, preventing severe illness. Things that they claim that the poop juice could do, and only do. Oh, there's no danger, there's no this, there's no that, even though, you can't sue the poop juice companies. So, man, what do you tell people, man? And what can those people say to you, the people that fought so vehemently to push the poop juice on the people, to shame people who didn't want to get the poop juice, to shame people who questioned the poop juice, the people who agreed that you should lose your job, you should lose your livelihood, you should not be able to take your children to certain places, you shouldn't be able to go to different places, do this, that, and third, have a life, because you don't want no parts of the poop juice. I mean, come on. This is, let me tell y'all, the super cold pandemic, right? Everything that derived from that, everything that the government did, is probably the most egregious crime ever committed in human history. When you factor in all the excess deaths, all the unnecessary deaths that I talked about a couple days ago, when you factor all that in, we're talking hundreds of thousands of people. We're talking about millions of people that whose deaths were attributed to the super cold. How many deaths were attributed to super colds that were probably more than likely had to do with doctor-side, however you want to say it, due to negligence and malpractice from doctors and hospitals? How many deaths could be attributed to the poop juice? How many deaths could be attributed to lockdowns and depression coming from that? All the egregious acts from government functionaries. How much terrorism occurred during the super cold pandemic? I mean, how many suicides? How many drug overdoses? How much domestic violence that ended in death? How much of that occurred as a direct result of government overreach due to this idea that we had this super cold pandemic, right? How much? Yeah. I want us to sit on that for a minute. I want people to sit on that. When people push the idea that government is a necessary thing, right? I want people to think about how it's probably more than 200 million now. How many people have died due to government How many people have government killed in the last 100 years? Over 200 million people. Yet, we still feel the need to push this government idea. Even if you want to say you want to overturn this government because you feel like it's too tyrannical. Well, what are you going to replace it with? Another government? A government that you feel is more righteous? No, you're gonna replace it with another government. And if you're replacing government with government, hell, you might as well just not do shit. Because at the end of the day, all you're going to do is bring it right back around to controlling people, controlling the flow of information, curating information, curating facts, deciding what should and should not be considered to be facts. That's something that government does. Look at what's going on with this Twitter FBI shit, right? If that's even a real thing, right? What did I tell y'all about the First Amendment? What did I tell you about the right of speech? And all that shit in relation to these social corporations, right? Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. If you think that these companies aren't benefiting from corporate welfare via the government, via our tax dollars, then you are sadly mistaken. You see, they aren't private companies, right? They're corporations. Corporations are made up of a lot of different parts and pieces. Much of it having to do with, canoodling and getting in bed with government, right? Seeking some level of benefit from government to operate. And what happens in turn? Well, in turn, they get kickbacks, known as, campaign funds. A corporation is always going to have some level of government in their pocket. And if that's the case, right? If that's the case, like Section 230. Section 230 that protects these organizations, right? That protects YouTube, that protects Twitter from liability if they are to be sued due to someone else's content on their platform, right? I mean, they escape all levels of liability. I mean, they could have been sued millions of times over if not for Section 230. But in order to be protected from Section 230, you have to actually be a platform. You cannot curate content. You cannot edit. You cannot remove. These are things that you should not be able to do and still be protected by Section 230. Yet they are. Why is that? Why is it that, these organizations haven't even, well, you know what? That's a lie. I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene call them out for being under protection of Section 2. Somebody, when they were getting, when they had that congressional hearing. But the point is this: they will continue to be protected by Section 230 because they are in direct commerce with government. And if that's the case, they might as well be part of the government, right? If you benefit from the government in any form or fashion, that means that you benefit from taxpayer extortion dollars, right? Extortion payer dollars. That means that you should not be able to violate our right to free speech, our right to the Second Amendment, right? But of course, again, this whole idea that all these private organizations, they can do what they want. No, that's not even true either, right? They can't just do what they want. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? But anyway, I just thought I'd get on and give you all that information real quick. NBC article talking about how an infection from the super cold could be as good or better than protection from the poop juice. But is that really surprising when the poop juice only targeted the poop juice only incited your body to attack one component of the super cold, whereas natural infection, well, you target 16 different points of 16 different parts of that super cold spiky ball. So it's no surprise. It's no surprise. Anyway, not only that, but we do know that the poop juice does a lot other than it does a little bit more than it's supposed to. We know that, right? That's been borne out. There's a lot of information and data on that. Just do your own due diligence, do your own research, and understand what I mean when I say poop juice, and you'll be A-okay. You'll be A-okay. As of yet, I don't know if YouTube has changed terms and services, but what I do know is a few weeks ago, I was hit with a medical misinformation strike in relation to the super cold, even though I didn't do what they said I was doing. But at that point in time, those weeks ago, they were still enforcing those. They're still enforcing. A few weeks ago, they were still enforcing those outdated guidelines. Okay, they were still enforcing that. Don't know if they're still doing it, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I got for now, man. My voice is really strained right now. I don't know why. You know. And yeah, we go. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. I'll probably holler at y'all maybe early Monday morning on my way back to Georgia. So, yep, I had fun, man. Y'all enjoy your weekend, enjoy your family. You got chill, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.